8 wins over Aphelion, but either way, let's go ahead and get into match 1. Enough with the predictions. Let's see what's actually going to happen. Yeah, we've got Aphelion in blue, Venus in orange, Beans in orange for Aphelion, passing it up to Probably. Probably trying to get it centered out, not going to be able to get too well. Hannah clears it away. Beans retreating back, TD's having to try and put it center now. Hannah waiting on the wall. Good challenge there. Probably backflips is a little awkward. Now this is going to be centered out, but Prozac able to get a last-second touch, clears it away. Now on the counterattack, Probably and Beans moving with speed. TD is able to get his car in there and send it to the other side wall. Hannah clears it away. Now Probably tries to put one onto the backboard. Is going to be challenged and sent away. Beans controls, tries to put it down towards Probably, not going to be able to. Blue sends it back towards Orange. TD's credited with a shot there, doesn't quite go on the net, however. Now Probably trying to send it back all the way across the field. TD's cuts it out, reads it, intercepts it. Beans off the backside wall, not going to let that one through yet. Now Panna trying to get a touch here, but does end up being a little awkward. TD's with no boost, good fake there. Does keep control, but not enough boost to keep control for the second challenger. Panna flies off the wall, not able to make contact. Leard comes in, also not able to make contact. So Prozac has a 2-on-1 opportunity. Probably shot on net. What a save by TD's there. Wow, what a save. And this has been really good pressure from both teams. This is what Elite looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
It's why I don't want to go to Elite. It's scary. But you know, something really interesting. Prozac actually on the Orange Venus side is actually the player with the least amount of games played for them. So somebody you would expect to be the fourth is actually here starting in game number 1 for Venus. Really interesting to see how they're able to respond, or how he's able to really kind of hopefully step up despite having the least amount of games played so far.
Yeah, it's I mean, everybody seems to be playing pretty well. Just looking to see really good gameplay. Hopefully we see something a little bit better than the major gameplay that we witnessed, but those majors were playing pretty well with the exception of some defensive mishaps. And the tongue ties are coming in waves today. Panna able to clear it out across. Prozac waiting back. Is going to end up rotating, leaving for another teammate to defend. Probably with a really good backboard clear there, sends it all the way back to the blue corner, and Learg is going to have to make another touch here to be safe. Good 50. Beans has to make a touch into the corner. Does get the touch. Another good pinch from Learg, centers out, but Prozac sends it back to the corner. Panna's turn to come in and try and make something happen. Not going to be able to get it into the center, sends it all the way across. TD's demoed for his efforts, but now Prozac does have a free touch into the corner, gets some boost. Not a lot of control coming out for this Orange Aphelion team right now, or this Orange Venus team right now, that we have seen. They were really good at clearing the ball on defense towards teammates, but now it seems like they're struggling to get the ball away from the challengers. Could be due to a lack of boost. The Aphelion team has been doing a good job at taking boost while they're in the zone. Oh, and TD's not going to be able to get up and under that ball to put it on net. Really awkward angle, can't blame him too hard there, but just, you know, it's still one of those things where you're like, oh, you know, so close, so close.
Yeah, and still scoreless here in this game 1, despite some very good offensive opportunities from both sides. The defense has been really solid. One thing that was really interesting to note for the Venus side, Croc, despite being at 15 wins and having a huge amount of goals for, they actually also were topping Aphelion in saves as well, with 80 saves already so far in this season. So Venus, even though, yes, they are a very strong offensive team, they certainly have the capability of being extremely solid on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, TD's with a soft shot here is going to give Venus another chance to show their defensive display. Good save. Not too difficult. Panna and Prozac come together. Not going to be able to really do much, just squeaks out across the field sideways. Probably now with a good pop, going to be looking for the double tap off the back wall, but that comes straight down. Very interesting bounce. I definitely wouldn't have been able to read it, but you know,
I don't think anybody knew that was coming. Oh my goodness.
That looked like it would have popped back out. I thought he had it read pretty well, maybe a little off center, but I thought it was pretty well. And then all of a sudden it shoots out at a 30-degree angle from the wall.
Definitely really, I mean, that was an unlucky situation in that regard. I definitely, yeah, I agree with you. The read was there. And man, the Venus, the defense actually from both sides has just been so locked down. there's always someone there to make a save and make touches on the ball. And I mean, we're going to be going into an overtime completely scoreless, despite having a pretty decent shot total from both teams.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for someone in chat to say something like, "Oh, you know, this looks like my plat lobbies." Like, all right. This is really fast, really good Rocket League, even for the elite tier, you know. Elite players do make mistakes, but this gameplay has been solid. Really good shots towards the net, really good defensive plays, decent ball control when it's available, and, you know, the banging clears when they need to be sent.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, at this point, unless I think I'm really looking for one of these teams to come forward with maybe some physical play, or just that. A bar down that wasn't a bar down. Bob like hits off of the backboard, and TD's is just sitting there, and I mean, it's right on his nose. That is honestly very unfortunate for the Venus side. Very fortunate for the Aphelion side. You know, we thought that the bounce from the top was kind of weird with a really unexpected waterfall. That one was also a little bit unexpected, but TD seemed to be very prepared for it, and does take game one for the Aphelion side here, which is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, TD's definitely probably a little bit of luck there, right? Like, he's sitting really far forward.
Nah.
Anything that's sent even a little further back is going to be nearly impossible to get a good shot on net. But right place, right time, sends it in, gets the overtime goal. Aphelion take game number 1. A little calculated, huh? But either way, I think that Aphelion and Venus are very evenly matched teams. I don't think that this means that Aphelion's going to win game number 2 or win the rest of the series out. But they've got a shot. TD's definitely played well. Definitely my MVP as well as the game's MVP this round. Probably gets MVP for Venus. Probably would agree with that as well. Man, it's probably so many probably's coming out.
Probably.
This is almost as bad as the cookies, you know.
Almost.
Kooky
Uh,
calking kooky.
and then cookie time. You can't forget cookie time. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna be moving into game 2 here. You know, an unexpected game 1, but both teams played very solid. Really good defense, despite a lot of shots on net. So you know, it definitely wasn't like there was no offense. But I'm really interested to see if one of these teams kind of moves into a more offensive style as we get into this game number 2 here. Take it away, Grog.
Lyric and Prozac together on the first opening kickoff for game number 2. Probably is going to have an ability to get it out to the center for Beans, but Beans turns away and leaves it for Prozac. Prozac in with the shot. Good save from Pana. Lyric now not able to get his touch on the ball, so Beans is going to get a free shot. Puts it over the defenders and under the crossbar for goal number 1 of game 2. Lyric beat by Probably, and then Beans just absolutely slams it home under the crossbar.
Yeah, really good speed there on the shot from Beans, and you know, after we waited over 5 minutes for a goal, we get one in 14 seconds. That is already a different story here, game 2.
Ball just kind of traveling out in no man's land on the wall. TD's does get it out center. No teammate there, so probably with a free clear. Beans with a good shot on net. Pana, you know, that save looked really tough, but that was a pretty standard shadow defense save, I think, for players at this skill level. So I don't want to give them too much credit, you know. We like praising people on stream, but we can't give them too much credit.
Yeah.
We gotta.
We're very important.
Yeah, exactly.
Valuable resource.
We don't. You think we just hand out stream tokens left and right?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
But Prozac in again.
Yeah.
It's very interesting from the Venus side. You know, I'm wondering. I can't tell. Did they end up making a save? No, these are the same 3 players, right?
Yeah, same 3 players on both sides.
Yeah, so it looks like they're not really rotating. It looks like actually Prozac is a starter for this match, and I'm really interested to see how this is going to turn out as we keep moving forward.
Beans with another decent opportunity towards net, finds the backboard, comes down. The last defender up, goes to the backboard. I believe it was Pana. Pana up, not able to get back down in time to stop the shot. Can't really fault anyone there. That was just a good pass by Beans, good shot by Probably, and they take the lead here, or not take the lead, but increase their lead to 2.
Yeah, definitely a good connection, good pass opportunity. And right now, Aphelion does look a little bit shaky on the defensive side, but they do get it cleared away just fine. And really looking for a response here for them. It would be very important after taking that game one to kind of start really kind of working their way into this game two. We do know that the Venus side is very solid on the defensive end, so it's going to be a, kind of a, you're going to have to claw your way back if you're Aphelion here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, down by 2, 3 minutes left. Plenty of time left. Good save by Prawley there off of a pretty solid shot from Pana. And there's TDs coming in with a banger from the wall. Let's see how fast that was. 70 miles an hour from the wall. Really good read to get up there. Does get the jump. Little half volley. Air rolls the car. Gets the corner of his car on the ball. Sings it right into the net. No defender stopping that one. And that lead has been cut in half.
Yeah, really great shot there, Beans. I mean, everybody was in the right position on the Venus side, but it's very difficult to save an unexpected shot coming that fast. Wasn't able to get up in time. Great shot by TDs to bring this within 1 goal as we get close to the halfway mark in game number 2.
Hannah now up on the wall, gonna send this one across for Lear. Lear cut out by Prawley. Now Prawley does cause a little bit of commotion in the blue half there. Beans up with the ball, not going to be able to get a second touch. TD's not a great touch either, but Prawley now also with not a great touch. Prozac able to read it. First good touch after the last 5 touches. Gets a good shot on net. Lear with a good save. TD's now up, probably looking for Lear. Sees him upfield. Good redirect attempt. Sends it into the corner. Does keep pressure. Prawley with a great touch. Sends it all the way to the blue corner. Into the middle now. Prozac demoed, so someone should be coming in. Beans is there. Good 50-50 from the blue side. Keeps it out of harm's way for the net. Hannah now coming off the corner. Should have a free open net after the demo, but can't get his car around the ball. Man, that hurts. Gonna have to see Pana with 34 boost right now. I think he had already picked up 100. I would have loved to see how much boost he had.
I think he was at 0, because I do not think that back corner had spawned. Kind of a tough situation, but TD's kind of showing that, you know, what I was talking about before, the physical play to try to open up the defense, it's definitely available. The opportunity is there. Just kind of have to be a little bit smart with it, but Prawley puts the lead to 2, and that's going to be very difficult if you're on the Aphelion side here. Great read off of that ceiling, and I mean, that was a great shot, and really difficult there from the defensive side to make a save on it.
Yeah, he was just in a really good position to read that. Puts a shot on net, puts it behind the defenders as well. Puts the lead back to 2 after the goal from Aphelion did keep it, or did cut it back to 1. See if Aphelion can get 2 goals here in about 1 minute and 5 seconds. They're going to need it to force an overtime 3 if they want to win in regulation. Beans over to Prozac in the middle of the field. Good catch. Dribbles it here. Trying to get a ball by TDs, but TD's able to send it to the corner. They're now able to beat Prawley on that touch. Going for a second one off the wall, but Beans is just there first in a better position. Prawley now waits for the bounce off the wall. Goes way high. I don't think anyone was expecting it that high. Challenged by TDs, but Prawley keeps it down in the blue half of the field. Lear now off the wall, going to be trying to follow it up most likely. TD's not a lot of boost to get that one out, so Pana coming in for the shot. I think that's a good commit there, even though the ball wasn't really in a great shooting position, but down by 2, 30 seconds left. You got to be a little aggressive as the second man there in the middle.
Yeah,
TD's going to be yeah. TD is going to be trying to get this ball out into the center, but sent back towards blue side, and this could be the end here. Pana not going to be able to make contact. Lear does get a pop for TDs. Can TDs put it on net? No, puts it to the right side. Beans clears it down, and that's going to be it, folks. It is going to be Venus taking game number 2 here, 3-1, and that was a really good game from both teams again. I really enjoy the style of play. It's not, interestingly, in my opinion, it's not as fast as the major game was, right? Like, people are moving a little bit slower, but they're moving with so much more purpose, and their decisions are fast. And that's what a lot of people don't differentiate whenever you go between the tiers. Faster doesn't always mean the speed of your car. If you're driving fast, but you're out of position, who cares? You're never going to hit the ball. These guys are in a good position. They're making touches on the ball, even though the touches aren't always exactly what they want to do with it. And they're looking for their teammates, which is a big step up from what we saw just about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, every single goal in the match has an accompanying assist So they're definitely really relying on those passes, and you kind of have to. Solo plays at this tier are not as common, is a lot harder to accomplish. But you know, Venus probably again coming out with a great game for the Venus side, and Venus came out with a little bit more pressure than we kind of expected in that game one, based off of records and statistics. You know, they really came out and played a very solid offensive game. But Aphelion, like you said, they played a really solid game as well. And I do think that the physicality, the physical play is probably, it seems to really put Venus on their back foot. And there were some great opportunities that came from it. I would love to see more of that from the Aphelion side if they're finding that they can't put the ball in the net.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say that they're having issues putting the ball in the net. They're having issues getting the ball into scoreable positions right now. Really good
Right.
defense came out from Venus during that game and really just protected the dirty areas. And now 4 seconds into game 3, we have goal number 1 coming out from Prozac. Pretty solid kickoff here. Pana doesn't realize he's getting beat that hard to the ball. Ends up going up for the ball instead of playing the goal line. Prozac with a pretty easy goal early on in this game.
Yeah, tough decision to make, but great speed by Prozac there. And there's another chance for the Venus side. They're going to take a second kickoff goal. 7 seconds in, already 2-0. And that's really tough if you're on the Aphelion side to swallow, because it was already so tough to get goals into the net against this Venus squad. To then go down by 2 so quickly, I'm really interested to see how Aphelion are able to bounce back from a mental perspective. I think a quick goal here would probably be huge for them to get this momentum kind of shifted back.
Yeah, it is going to be tough. 7 seconds to let in 2 goals in an elite game. Hard to come back from, but definitely not impossible. Let's see if this Aphelion team can do it. Hannah, yet to touch the ball yet. Still 0 points. Got to get in better positions to be able to touch the ball. Lyric now challenged early by Bean. Very dangerous play to take that back towards the middle. Could have been a 50 on net very easily. Now a little bit of a ball side rotation coming in from TDs. Able to steer clear of the teammate trying to clear it away. Beans now pops one, tries to get it over Lyric. Lyric's not going to let it happen right now. 4 boosts, though, not going to be able to make a second touch. Calls it in. TDs comes in for the second touch. And now probably looking for a bumper, a demo. Lyric puts it to the center. Pana sends one home with force, and the lead is cut in half. Aphelion get their opening goal of game number 2 here, just 58 seconds into the game. Really good attempt from Beans on the save attempt. I didn't quite see if TDs was causing commotion in the goalie box, but I'm sure that was the intention with the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, and just great speed there from Pana to get into that shooter's position very fast. There was no other way that they were going to be able to put that shot in. Huge play from them, and right now we are seeing a lot more offense here so far. The defense is just not able to keep up as well when the passes are so strong. And another opportunity, and Lyric gets the 50 that goes underneath Beans there. Beans was credited with the save, but it didn't matter. Lyric was able to muscle it through and get another touch, and that's 2-2. And the Aphelion, after 2 quick goals, respond really well here, Croc.
Yeah, just a great 50 from Lyric there. Comes in with force. And I wonder if this is going to weigh on Venus, as the Aphelion team has now scored 3 goals in nearly the same amount of time that Venus was able to score the 2 opening goals. Good patience from Lyric there to bait in Prozac, gets the jump out of Prozac, and then has the wherewithal to pass to a teammate coming in instead of just opting to try and get around the ball and shoot.
On top of that, had the delayed 50 as well off the kickoff really quickly. Just really good awareness by Lyric and a really great play after had a really good muscle play right before it. And Pana in a perfect position again to get that shot. And Aphelion are looking really solid here on the offensive end. And they're going to potentially have another opportunity here. Oh, no, the backflip.
You know, honestly, I think he was a little too close to read that anyways. Like, he might have gotten a touch, but it wouldn't have been a high-quality shot.
Right, I agree.
Flip reset?
little low on boost and height, but, you know, the idea is there.
Yeah. TD's is just trying to style for the stream now.
Right. I mean, you've got to, right?
Yep.
You got streamer tokens. You need those streamer tokens.
Gotta get those streamer tokens. We're handing them out like candy.
But yeah,
in the corner is gonna pass back to Pana here. Prozac clears it away. Lyric back into the center, high up. Beans is gonna be a little awkward, but able to clear it away. All 3 players for Orange on the left side of the field need to make sure they don't get caught out. Prozac can't get it by Learg, but probably can. Comes in, picks up the pieces of that play. Pana with a great save off of a pretty solid shot. Now Learg clears it all the way down. Not going to get a second touch. Leaves it for TDs. Probably with a really good backflip play there. Gets it over the head of TDs. Prozac demoed for his efforts, but will center out for Probably. Probably with a shot on net. Learg with the save. Beans rolls one up the wall off the bevel. Going to be trying to center it out for Prozac. Prozac coming in a little slow. Pana kind of fakes him out and now not able to get the shot on net. TD's with a pop, but gets bumped. Not going to be able to follow it up here. Beans controls in the corner over the head of Learg. Not over the head of Pana. Pana puts it off the back wall. TD's is up. So is Beans. Beans wins the battle there. Gets the clear away. Oh, no. Learg, that one hurts. That deserved to actually go somewhere. I'll give it to Learg. That one deserved to go somewhere. But, you know, sometimes Psyonix just says, all right, physics mechanic in the game. Let's roll a D20 and see what the outcome is.
Natural 0. That's what it went nowhere. Man, and right, like, go right now, Aphelion definitely a very much more physical heavy style of play, and it's leaving a lot of gaps in the Venus rotations. They're not quite aware of how to kind of, you know, counteract the demos that are coming out. And Aphelion's getting great pressure off of them and good pass plays as they're looking for each other. A minute left in this game. Venus needs to play at they're going to need to step up the speed, or they're going to need to step up their control so far of this game, because they're really looking outmatched by this Aphelion team in game number 3.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't really say that they're looking outmatched. I think that Aphelion is playing better than Venus, especially since the 2 goals from Venus didn't really come from plays, quote-unquote. They came from the kickoffs that were just really good kickoffs. But they are a step behind. You know, I was about to use the slips example, but no one here would know what the heck I'm talking about.
Yeah, no,
but, like, they're not outclassed. They're just, like, a step behind. So I think that this is still going to be a very even series. We're tied 1-1 here. Aphelion in the lead. If the scoreline holds, they will take the 2-1 lead in the series. There is still plenty of time left for Venus to score a goal here. Probably up on the wall, faked out by TD's a little, but Beans does have control. Pana gets the demo and the control, and I think that could be it, but Prozac comes in, proves me a little wrong. Probably pops one off the side wall, but that will hit the ground, and Aphelion will take game number 3.
Great play here from Aphelion. There was every single play was very much a team play. Lots of physicality coming out with the demos that really put Venus on the back foot, and they just looked really clean, really fast, very speedy on in the midfield. The midfield control here for Aphelion was huge in getting the control of the game. And TD's, despite, you know, he has a lower score, 154 with only 1 assist, I think that he was a lot more important in this game than the scoreboard would state. Because the amount of midfield control that TD's allowed with his 50s, the great speed, the demos that were coming out was huge for Aphelion to get control of the game. But we will be seeing a sub here. Venus is going to be subbing out Prozac, the player that we were surprised to see playing, starting in this match. And they're going to be bringing in Andy, who had been one of their starting players here. So Venus are going to come out with their original starting 3. It's gonna be really interesting. Andy has been sitting for the past 3 games. So, do you kind of expect Venus to come out and play at a much higher level now that they've pulled in their normal starting lineup?
I think that it could be dangerous, right? I think that they might play faster, but it could be faster to a fault. But it could be so much faster that it just overwhelms Aphelion. So let's see what happens here in game 4. TD's over to the left side for Learg. Learg's going to get there first. Puts a soft one on net. Andy jumps up. Oh, it's not on net. Actually hits the backboard. So now it looks like... Oh, an open net for Orange here. Bean's going to try and pass it out to Probably. No, cuts it in. Tries to take the shot. Good 50 there. Not credited with the save, but deserved one. Pana with an epic save. Great shot from Probably. Definitely a great recovery from Aphelion here. Venus was all over them, deserved a goal, and Aphelion somehow comes away without a scratch.
Oh, that's on target though, and Beans takes goal number 1 of game 4 here for Venus. And right now, Venus definitely have a lot more a lot more pressure, but that really was just a bang from the midfield. Caught the Aphelion defender. I'm not sure who was there, but caught the Aphelion defender creeping a little bit on that back post. And Croc, I know that you're so adamant about it, but you gotta be careful with your back post rotations. You cannot creep up, especially at this tier. you will get punished very quickly if they find that you're out of position.
Absolutely. One of the first things I tell my team on game day is I hope you don't have your significant other in the room with you anymore, because you're in a committed relationship with the back post for the next hour and a half. Oh, Andy with a great goal there. Comes in off the bench, puts one over. Really good ball control, good ability to recognize how much time he has. Leaves the ball bouncing, makes it a little tougher for Panda to read, and not able to get there.
Great control and a great solo play there coming out of Andy, who is the sub for this game. Oh, and a great bump though, leaves it open. Oh, that was a great opportunity, but not able to get much out of it. And honestly, I'm gonna for me here, Croc, I think that Venus does look a lot more solid and a lot more put together with this starting through in the lineup. Prozac, a very great player in his own right, but this team looks a little bit more cohesive, I think, with how their rotations are panning out so far.
I was actually just about to say that. Exactly what I was going to say was that they look faster, but they're not actually playing that much faster. But they're playing so much smoother. They're just moving as a unit. The pressure is overwhelming on Aphelion right now. And, like, look at this. Third man's in a perfect position. Doesn't get the greatest touch, but, like, you know, normally if probably sitting there on that ball, that is a bang on the net or a pass to a teammate, right? Like, it just looks so cohesive. TD's there with a panic touch to the middle, just trying to get out of his own end, and they just can't right now. Venus is playing very well. Panda now up, trying to get the ball out of the zone. Finally does. TD's with a redirect attempt, ends up dropping him in. Panda can't get a good, powerful shot. And, you know, I think that's been kind of a recurring thing for Panda or Pana. I'm sorry if I've been mispronouncing your name the whole time. But, a little bit of a recurring theme with Panda is not a lot of power on these shots. Got to get a little bit more power on the shots here at this tier. Beans now trying to take it back, put it into the corner, keep control. Pops it up and leaves for Andy. Andy now trying to challenge Panda for this ball. Does get a pop over one. Beans comes in, pass back to Andy, who stayed upfield. Good play there. Clear over, tries to keep it out of harm's way. Beans trying to put it back into harm's way. Got to get into those dirty areas in the middle of the field. Panda with a good roll up the wall. Good play not to get that bounced off of the wall and just re-centered out. But again, Aphelion just not able to get the ball out of their own half. These offensive rotations so solid. And there it is. Andy reading the play the whole way there. Look, just rotates out, grabs a little bit of boost, sees the ball the whole way, comes in around the ball, puts it right across the nose of the defenders. They had no chance. Great read by Andy. Great play by Venus overall. The offensive rotations are just insane right now.
Right, and I mean, it's leaving Aphelion in very low boost situations. You could see Andy actually coming off of stealing that back 100. And also, something that's really interesting to note, a lot more demos coming out of this Venus lineup, and a lot less on the side of Aphelion. What that tells me, something that you were kind of talking about before, a lot of movement going on right now on the Venus side. They're not really getting caught standing still. They're kind of a lot more active in their rotations. It ends up being a lot harder to demo somebody who's constantly moving so far. And as we're getting to the minute 30 mark, 3-0 in the side of Venus, and they have looked in complete control of this game at every single point so far, Clark.
Yeah, even when Aphelion's on the attack right now, I just don't really expect them to score. They look out of sorts. They just don't look like they're playing the game. And, you know, sometimes having a sub can do that to the other team. Sometimes it's not necessarily about the effect it'll have on your team, but the effect it'll have on the other team, whether it's the play style being a little different so it's harder for the other team to read, or maybe you're bringing in, like, a name that everybody knows across RSC, so it messes with the mental state a little bit, or maybe you're bringing in a brand new guy that no one's ever heard about, so you're a little scared of what he can do. Either way, a sub can definitely shake things up like this, and Aphelion is definitely not playing the same game that we saw him play in Game 1 and 2.
Yeah,
it is looking a little reminiscent of Game 3 a little bit, I will admit, but not Game 1 and 2.
Definitely, and Andy with 482 points was the one that got subbed in, probably, who's been pretty much the go-to player for the Venus side. Only at 50 points this game. Definitely a lot less that probably has been having to do with Andy in this lineup. And I mean, they look great so far. The sub definitely was a great shakeup. And as we get kind of at that 17-second mark, it does look like this is actually going to be a tied series as Venus is looking to finish out the last 10 seconds of this game forward.
Yeah, really good games from both teams here. One thing I will say about Prolly's gameplay this round is it's very reminiscent of how I play my ranked games, right? You just kind of circle around in that third man position. You let your teammates do whatever they want. When the ball comes to you, it's like, oh, great, I get to hit the ball. You do what you need to do. You do it right. Perfect. And probably filled into that role perfectly. Andy and Beans were just going all out on the offensive end. 582 points, 346 points, both with a major amount of points and 7 shots between the two.